welcome to a day in the life of a stay-at-home toddler mom. And I'm starting every day outside with some sunshine, and I do my devotion, drink my lemon water, and pet Frodo, and I sit out here for about 45 minutes to an hour. So at this time, it is 6:15 in the morning, and I've been out here for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now it's time to get started on some breakfast. So I did some vegetable pancakes with some chickpea flour, regular flour, water, and some mushrooms, zucchini, carrots, green onions, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. And I fried those up in a little bit of avocado oil. And then for breakfast, we also had some steamed broccoli, some pasture-raised eggs, a local heirloom tomato, and then a sauce of rice vinegar, sesame oil, and soy sauce, or I think those are liquid aminos. And this was a delicious breakfast. I took a picture to upload to my dietitian. I do have a dietitian, and so I just uploaded that photo, and this is what we had for breakfast. And I just hung out with Hezekiah while we had breakfast before we really get our day good and started. Good morning and welcome. Ooh, it is dark. Good morning and welcome back to the Sprouted Homemaker. My name is Amy. If you are new here, and I look like I'm going to the gym because that is the plan, but it did start. Yes, sir. I'm filming a video. It did just start thundering, so we'll see because I have the tiny human. But you've already seen me getting out the side this morning, breakfast. I'm finishing up cooking breakfast right now, which is those vegetable pancakes, because I paused cooking so that we could go eat breakfast, and now my son is playing happily. And I'm gonna finish cooking this, but I just want to introduce this video. And I sometimes dress cute at home, but that's usually after I go to the gym. But we'll see if I get to go do that today or not. Have lots of laundry behind me. I got this basket at an estate sale this weekend, and I love it. So lots of laundry to be folded, and I need to do a little bit of meal prep and just some planning there, and then we'll see where the day takes us. So I definitely need to do this laundry. I'd like to get to the gym, but it's been raining 5 hours in Florida. I mean, that's kind of summer, but also there was like a tropical storm situation. It's the whole thing. So, well, let's finish breakfast, or cooking breakfast, and then we start on some meal prep, just a little bit, because I'm not gonna prep too much right now. I'll do that later. But I do need to make the mayo and everything, things I'm gonna go ahead and get refrigerated. And then I need to get my tortilla dough going. Okay, I'm out here to throw that watermelon rind out. Looking at the garden. This plant, this is a rampicante squash. I have 2 plants. You can see it's going all the way down here. And then it goes all the way down that fence line and around. I'll show you around there. There is one on here somewhere. These are incredible. I got some fallen tomatoes I got to deal with. These peppers, I'm waiting for them to turn red. Oh, we got one turning red right there. Oh, we got one turning red right here. Yeah, these are Jimmy Nardellos. We got some lipstick peppers, some cubanelles. These are some yellow wax beans. I've got some cucumber plants still working. I see some tomatoes that are ready to pick. I'm gonna have to go in there in the jungle. These all fell. I've got to figure out a way to stabilize this. I have a T-post in the garage, I think I'm gonna grab. But this is that plant that goes all the way around. Okay, let's cook at that T-post and see. All right, so I got a T-post. Man, these have been decimated by bugs. Oh my gosh. I see you. But I got a T-post, and I got this at least pulled up. They're just so heavy, and I don't have things tall enough for them. But this is the tomatoes I picked today. So far, I only had one little tiny tomato, and I got all these today. So that's exciting. Then I decided to do a little bit of sweeping. I have a dog and some cats inside, and so I feel like there is just constant hair no matter what I do. So I went ahead and did a little bit of sweeping through the house, not like too extensive, but just a little bit to get this dog hair up that's driving me bonkers. hours. And you don't know if you can see on the window, it's so condensated. My goodness, it's been so humid. My hair is definitely showing that. So I didn't end up going to the gym today. You'll be able to tell from this video. So I ended up just staying in those clothes, my gym clothes all day, but that's okay. Time to take supplements. I am going to do a supplement routine video, so you guys can see that separately and see exactly what I take, when I take it, because I don't take everything every single day. So I will be doing that video. And then it was time to get started on meal prep. So I'm starting some sourdough tortilla dough to cook later that night for wraps for the week for lunches. So this is, I think, Farmhouse and Boone's recipe, and I just ended up making them more of a big wrap instead of a small tortilla. And I used, I would say, like a little over half whole wheat to regular organic all-purpose flour. So I did some whole wheat flour and then some organic all-purpose flour. So this is just not avocado oil, olive oil, salt, sourdough discard or sour active starter. You can use discard, but I did use active, and then whole wheat flour, all-purpose flour, and that's it. And you just mix it up. I kneaded it for, I think, 5 minutes or so, and then you just let it sit for however long. So I let this sit for about 12 hours before I cooked up these tortillas, and they turned out so good. I have a picture on my Instagram from, well, today on my stories for the wraps, and it was for chicken Caesar wraps, and they were so delicious. So this is a super simple swap you can make for the grocery store, which I'm also going to be doing a video about grocery store swaps. And then it was time to move on to other meal preps and this was mayo. So again, I'm going to be doing some more isolated recipe videos so that you don't have to go digging through videos for the recipes that you're looking for. So I will be doing a mayo video, and my video quality, guys, I'm learning how to edit, I'm learning how to film, so hopefully it's only going to get better from here. But I am going to make some separate recipes. So I made some mayo, which is just avocado oil, egg, salt, and lemon. And now we're going to make some slaw, because I was doing sweet potato and black bean tacos for dinner with some slaw. So this was mayo, Dijon mustard, maple syrup, apple cider vinegar. I did end up going back and adding some more vinegar because I felt like it wasn't vinegary enough. I do salt, pepper, I think, Cajun seasoning in here, garlic powder, onion powder. You can season it with whatever you like, but that's just what I like to use. So I just mixed up this little dressing, and then I just buy slaw mix. You are welcome to cut it yourself, but this is like $2 and something for 2 pounds of slaw mix at Sam's Club. So I just go ahead and buy the big thing of slaw mix and make that. So I make my slaw, and then we're going to also be making a Caesar dressing, as well as an avocado chipotle lime sauce situation, which was super good. And I will tell you, the Caesar dressing that you're about to see in just a minute, I ended up adding a whole can of chickpeas too, and what it did was it made it thick, like a spread almost, but that was perfect because I was doing these wraps, so I didn't need anything super thin anyway, and it added fiber and protein, and you couldn't really tell with the taste. It did change the texture just a little bit, but it was so delicious. So this slaw I would highly recommend. It's super easy just to throw together. It makes a great topping. I meal prep, so my style of meal prep is not prepping every meal in completion. I do elements. So you'll see me, I'm prepping the slaw here. I made a bunch of mayo for different recipes that I need this week, or I'll make all my sauces for the week, but I'm not going to cook everything in its entirety. I am going to end up cooking some chicken for the week, that kind of thing, but I'm not making everything completely at one time. That just doesn't make much sense to me to like do it all that way. So I just prep elements. So that slaw is just ready to go in the fridge until we are ready to use it again. So next up is this Caesar dressing. I could not find anchovy paste, so I just used regular anchovies, like a little tin of them. I just drained the olive oil into the trash, I'm not even gonna lie. And then I ended up using, I think, 1.5 lemons, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, some Parmesan cheese. I added way too much salt to this accidentally. I did a little pepper, and then I think I did some garlic powder. I can't remember exactly. You'll see here. And then I did end up adding quite a bit of water because I wanted mine a little bit on the thinner side. And so, yeah, I just made this quick, easy Caesar dressing. Is it cheaper to buy a pre-made bottled Caesar dressing? Yes. Are you paying for a bunch of fillers and seed oils and gums and stabilizers? also yes. So this tasted really good. It tasted super fresh, delicious. Again, like I said, I ended up blending a whole can of chickpeas into this, and I thought it was incredible. And I like the texture. Oh, and the base of this is mayo. So it's that mayo that I just made. I'm using this mayo for 3 different things this week. The slaw, this sauce, and then the next one that you'll see me make. So very versatile. And this mayo probably cost me around $3.50, $4 to make for that whole thing, and I make 3 different sauces with it. So this is the Caesar before I ended up adding the chickpeas, so you can see it's thinner, and then I didn't film me adding the chickpeas, but just to go ahead and assume that I did that, and it was delicious. Now I'm not even gonna wash this blender out before we get started on our next sauce. This I'm starting with, this is a baby avocado. We're gonna start with this baby avocado in here and just squeeze that in. I ended up using the juice of like 2.5 limes. Limes are so small, and I feel like they're getting hard as a rock these days and really hard to actually get juice out of, so I had to use my little juicer here to help me out. But I'm using chipotles and adobo peppers from the can, and then I just freeze what I don't use. So I use about 2 to 3 of those peppers, and that's really going to be your preference, what you like. And then I also go in with some mayo in there, and then garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, and some smoked paprika just to umph the smokiness just a little bit. And I absolutely love this sauce. I'm using it for 2 things this week. For tonight, I used it for the black bean sweet potato tacos, and then I'm also using it on my potato nachos, which I'll post on my Instagram, a photo of those. We love potato nachos. So this is a smoky, spicy chipotle sauce that's absolutely delicious, and it's definitely a lower calorie than one that you would already buy pre-made. And I just put it back in the mayo container because this was the last thing I was using the mayo container for. So no need to waste a dish. I just put it in there and give it a good shake, and in the fridge that bad boy goes as well. And we are done with several things already for this meal prep. So it does not take long to meal prep. Again, just do the elements of the meals, and that way you have a fresh meal at mealtime. And I'm also going to grate the rest of this block of Parmesan cheese because it was for the chicken Caesar wraps for lunches this week. So I wanted to go ahead and have that grated. Again, is it cheaper to buy pre-grated Parmesan cheese? Yes. Are you buying fillers? Yes. Let's marinate some chicken. We're going to start with a lot of white wine vinegar. Look, I'm a crunchy mom, but I'm still using a plastic baggie. I didn't have a container big enough to marinate this chicken in, so it's what we got. This is a white balsamic vinegar, absolutely delicious. Going in with some olive oil, and then you season with whatever you want. I did add a little water. We're going to add some oregano, some onion powder. I'm going to use some fresh chopped garlic, and then from Trader Joe's I'm going to use their Cuban seasoning and their Green Goddess seasoning. The Cuban has a bit of a kick to it, so I don't want too much, but I mostly use the Green Goddess, and then some additional salt as well, and then some Dijon mustard. And I don't think I put did I put maple syrup in here? I don't remember. I don't think I did. Sometimes I add a little bit of a sweetener, but I think that's why I added that white balsamic, because it does have a touch of sweetness to it. And so this is just a really good marinade. So I had some organic chicken that I got on sale at Sam's Club. It's air chilled organic chicken. Look at me. And it was in the freezer, and I had thawed it, but it was still semi-frozen. So I just put that in there, popped that bad boy in the fridge, and I just put them on a sheet pan under the broil setting for our lunches. And then I had this sugar baby watermelon grown 45 minutes from my house. Absolutely delicious. Again, I don't have containers big enough to hold this. I ran out of them. I only have a couple big ones. So plastic bag it went, and yes, it did leak in my fridge. And then it was time to do dishes. And I always let my toddler help me with dishes. I almost deleted this clip because you can see my arm fat hanging out the back there, and that's like a really probably crude way of saying that, but I almost deleted this clip because of that. And I'm like, listen, I'm on a journey here, okay? We have not yet arrived, and there was some work to be done. So then it was time to play with my son some. So he sat in my lap, and we read this like little leapfrog book that he absolutely loves, and we just spent some time together enjoying that. And then it was time to go outside. I had so much energy on this day, and it just felt really nice. I got this pot for $5 at a garage sale. $5, and it's massive. And I've had this plant on this porch in this plastic pot it came in for a long time, and so I decided to replant that into this big pot, and I love it. I'm leaf blowing all the dirt that I got everywhere, and then some of the dirt off that plant too. And my son was playing, and we were just enjoying our time outside together. So leaf blowed that, and then it was time for lunch. So I made a chicken Caesar salad because I'd yet to make the wraps. So, and I had a little bit of quinoa still in the fridge. So I put some quinoa, some Parmesan cheese, some chopped romaine, that chicken that I had just cooked, and that Caesar dressing. And then from the day before, I had my rampicante squash from my garden that had been sauteed in some Danos. And so I had that, and that was my lunch, and it was delicious. Then it started raining again. So I wanted to sit outside and watch it rain with a little bit of an iced latte. Don't get me for this decaf iced coffee, okay? It's so good. It's a decaf instant coffee, and I made us little lattes with maple syrup and lactose-free organic milk, and we just watched it rain. Then it was time to put my son down for his nap, and I had one of these sugar-free chocolate chip cookies. They were more like an Oreo cakester because I added some instant coffee with boiling water, and I think that's what made them fluffy, but they are still super delicious with allulose chocolate chips. And then I did use a little molasses to make like a brown sugar with allulose, and it was delicious. So my son's taking a little nap. He doesn't nap too long these days, and sometimes it's a real struggle to get him down. He is 3, but I try to get him a nap because he just functions so much better with one. So I have a philosophy of when he's taking a nap, do what I need to first, and then I can do what I want. So I folded all this laundry, put that away, and then I doom scrolled for quite too long, to be honest. And then I opened my Kindle, and then a few minutes later, he woke up. But this is Cleo. Her official name is Cleopatra, like Cleopatra, but it's Cleopatra. And then that's the new guy, Prince. But we are taking name suggestions. So if you have name suggestions, let me know. He followed us home on a walk one day. And so then, he followed us home. He lives with us now. It's a whole thing. And then we have Freya over there, who is the dog. And we love her, obviously. And then once my son woke up, it was time to go play with some bubbles and play outside. So he was having some popcorn. I was having some blueberries. And we're just playing with bubbles. And you can see the sun is out now. Wow, Florida really be doing what it wants. Let me tell you, it's sunny for 2 seconds and then it rains. And then we're outside and I'm like, dang, this backyard really needs cutting. Let's do something about this. And so I decided to get my happy little self with the lawnmower and the weed eater and did the lawn. And then I decided I was also going to do the front lawn as well. So I got real sweaty, but look at my little boots. I got those from Aldi for like $12 a few months ago, my little gardening boots. But we just had this electric mower because we got rid of our gas powered one. This one works so well for our size yard. And I was trying to start it one-handed and that was just not going to work. But this is what the yard looks like when it was cut, and I was able to weed eat in the garden a little bit, and it looked so much better and felt fresher. And then it was time to do the front yard as well. So we have a decent sized yard, but not too big. Okay, then it was time to start dinner, and we're making corn tortillas. If you think it's hard, try again, because I did not realize how easy it was, and I thought I hated corn tortillas. No, I just hate store-bought ones. So this is organic masa harina, which is just corn flour, cornmeal essentially, and I got this from my local co-op. And then you just add a little bit of oil, some salt, and warm water, and that is literally it. I bought this cast iron tortilla press a year or two ago off of Amazon for $30, and I have used it so much, and it's wonderful. I just use parchment with it. You can use a plastic baggie cut in down the middle as well, but I just use parchment paper with it, and I find it works really well. So what you're going to do is just going to mix this until it becomes like Play-Doh. You don't want it too dry and crackly, but then you just want it kind of wet, but just Play-Doh basically. This recipe is from America's Test Kitchen. I am subscribed to them and I love America's Test Kitchen. So if you aren't subscribed to them, I would recommend looking into it. I got a whole year for like $25. Anyway, so I'm just checking for the texture, and then I'm going to roll them into little balls. We're going to use our cast iron tortilla press here, or you can just roll them with a rolling pin. If you don't have a tortilla press, that's no big deal either. And you get your cast iron really hot. I had 2 pans working here. I had my little flat griddle pan and then just my regular cast iron pan, so I could do 2 at a time. And I halved this recipe. So if you are looking at America's Test Kitchen, I did half of the recipe because I did not need 18 corn tortillas and I didn't want to freeze them. So I just cooked them and I flipped them with my bare hands. Okay, listen, I've worked in a kitchen for years and I have burned the tips of my fingers so many times. I even have stitches in one where my nerves have been cut to, it's a whole thing. But don't flip them if you have sensitive fingers. And this was the black bean sweet potato tacos. They were incredible. Avocado, pickled onions, fresh local tomato, the slaw. It was so delicious. Oh, and that chipotle sauce that we made. So after we eat, I try to get a walk in as much as possible, and you're getting dog booty for this, but we try to do a family walk every night after dinner, and I try to walk during the day too for breakfast and lunch, but sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So we went for our family walk, which is 0.85 miles, so it's about 25 minutes with the whole family. And then it was late, but I needed to, first of all, rinse my sprouts. I'm going to do a whole video on how to grow sprouts, but I had to rinse my sprouts, and then I needed to make these tortillas or wraps. I just basically made them massive, and I just pinched some dough off, rolled it out with some flour, threw them on a hot pan, and there you go. You have some freshly made wraps. It was super easy, and again, that's Farmhouse on Boone. And then what I like to do is I have these battery operated lights, and I started to turn down some lights. So this is now like 7:30 p.m. and I'm turning down some lights and just getting it kind of set to chill out. And then we're going to do the dishes. I'm already yawning. It's time for me to go to bed now. And that is my step count of the day without even going to the gym. Over 18,000 steps. And then it's time for a shower. So we're going to take a shower and do a little bit of skincare. And then I always end my night by doing my journal, my planner, and red light therapy. And I love that routine. And I did take some zinc this night as well. But these are the 2 products I'm using after the shower. And I wish I'd got more of this Trader Joe's cream because I don't live near Trader Joe's. But anyway, that's my night. I go to sleep about 9:30 to 10 o'clock every night. And I really love my routine, set my circadian rhythm. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before you go. And I will catch you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.